everyone, and welcome to another episode in our video diary series. I'm Henry Higgins, and it's been a couple of weeks since we did one of these blogs. So just to get you up to speed, the DDP Yoga and the exercising continues. The diet did take a little bit of a slip, so I need to make up for that. However, the ongoing new way of doing things of having 2 pints of milk every morning with breakfast has continued. I'm happy with that. Simply go to the store by 7, because I was only doing it for the weekdays, but I'm doing it for the weekends now as well. By 7, 2 pint cartons of milk, put them in the fridge, have one each morning. That is going fantastically well. Had a bit too much junk food over the last weekend. It was Royal Rumble weekend, and because of that, kind of took a step backwards, I want to say. Not a full step backwards, but definitely didn't make as much progress as I would like. But it is what it is. Not everything can be forward momentum. There has to be challenges, and that's what this is. I am going to be trying something a little different with the bespoke workout, not the bespoke mixtape for the DDP Yoga. I'm going to be trying some high intensity interval training, working around what I can do. So how I'm going to work that is, in theory at least, 20 push-ups, 20 sit-ups or crunches, 20 squats with weights, 20 high knees, 20 biceps, 20 triceps, 20 flies, 30 minutes rest, 30 seconds rest, 30 seconds rest. Repeat it, but I'm going to see if I can change the push-ups a little bit by doing the first set of push-ups with an inverted incline, so my feet are higher than my chest. The second set of push-ups on a level surface, and then the third set of push-ups on an incline but with my chest higher than my feet. I'm going to see if that does anything. It's just to spice things up, just to jazz things up. The crunches will be different types of crunches, which I learned from the DDP Yoga session, so thank you very much for that. And we'll just see how that develops over the next couple of weeks and months. Again, I haven't weighed myself. I have only been going with how I feel and how clothes are fitting, and things are comfortable. I did, however, manage to touch my toes for the first time ever in a long time by simply bending over. There was a slight bending of the knees, so it wasn't full hip and spine bending over, but with the history of my hips, being able to do that with even just a slight bending of the knee was an amazing feeling. So that has spurred me on a little bit more as well. But it's not been all DDP Yoga stuff. Again, obviously I'm still working from home. That has been going well. End of the year appraisals are all coming up, so it's quite hectic at work, but I still love my job. I still love what I'm doing. Home-wise, Josh and I continue to watch Wandavision. We watched episode 4 and 5 since the last vlog. Episode 4 took a break from the sitcom continuity. Episode 5, we're now getting into the nitty-gritty. There's 9 episodes, so we're past the halfway point now. So we're starting to get a feel of what's going on, but there still are so many unanswered questions. But the show is phenomenal. The cliffhanger for the end of the most recent episode, Josh and I genuinely had our jaws dropped. We were so ecstatic by it. I'm not going to spoil it here. There's plenty of spoilers online. There's plenty of theories going on. Check out new Rockstars. They're my favourite port of call after these. So check out new Rockstars there. They do a fantastic reaction video for the Wandavision show, and then Eric Voss does a wonderful breakdown afterwards. Boba Talks is another good one to check out. I don't always agree with what he says, and I do feel he has some bias towards and against certain things, that he will gloss over for shows or films he does like that does the same thing. But he is entertaining, he does stick to his guns, and I do enjoy his videos, and I enjoy how he views things. Sometimes it does make me look at something in a different way. And sometimes I do counteract what he's saying with my own views. And those are the ones I really go for after this. After watching an episode, I look forward to their videos just to see how they have reacted and whether they have reacted to the same things, whether we have the same theories. And Wandavision is a show filled with theories. Almost every line has layers upon layers of subtext that you can read into in a number of different ways. And if you haven't seen the show, the first 5 episodes are on Disney Plus. I would recommend you check it out. There's going to be 4 episodes left from Friday coming. After that, it's a 2-week break, and then The Falcon and the Winter Soldier comes out. That, I believe, has 6 episodes, and then that'll take us through March. And then we've got a break again for Loki coming out in May, which I'm really excited about as well. Hopefully by that point we have a clearer picture on how the movie scenes are going to look like as well. Because 2020 was a washout for movies, it really was. It started so well. I'd seen 4 movies in the cinema at the beginning of the year in 2020, and then it just died. So hopefully by the summer season of 2021 we're back in cinemas. Movies are coming out. There's a massive slate. Marvel has a load of movies coming out. The Snyder Cut's coming out soon as well. That's coming out on HBO Max though. And it's all going to be a wonderful year, I believe, for comic book TV shows, comic book movies, and the movies in general. And that's something I'm looking forward to. Something else I'm looking forward to is getting a PlayStation 5. When that's going to happen, I have no idea. Genuinely, it's up in the air with PS5s, when they're going to be in stock. Just for shits and giggles, Josh and I had a look on eBay, and there's a person selling the Xbox X and a PlayStation 5 for $15,000. There are other people selling them for like £9,000, £3,000. It's ridiculous. But that's just the way it is. That's what's happened. So I always said I wasn't going to get a PlayStation 5 on the first run anyway, because generally with any first run of consoles, that's when certain things are found. You can playtest something to death, but until it's out in the mass market and it's being continually in use, you're not going to pick up on things. So there'll be certain hardware issues and software issues that by the time the second run off the production line, these issues will have been addressed. So I'm waiting on the second batch, which will probably be summer. I might even wait all the way until Christmas this year. PlayStation 4 still going to have a load of things out. But what's fantastic is, this week, thanks to PlayStation Plus, I got Control, the Definitive Edition, which is all the DLC as well, and Concrete Genie for the PlayStation 4. Concrete Genie is a game I've kind of had an eye on for a while. Control's a game I've always wanted to get, but being a cheapskate Scotsman, been waiting on it coming down to a decent price for me, and now it's actually free with the PlayStation Plus, so that's worked out really well. And on the PlayStation 5, I got Destruction All-Stars. Now obviously I can't play Destruction All-Stars, but it is now the 3rd game in my PlayStation 5 library, following Bugsnax and Maneater. So by the time I get around to having a PlayStation 5, I will have a library of PlayStation 5 games, along with the backward compatible PlayStation 4 games and the PS Plus introductory slate that was given to PS5 owners, which covered a lot of historically great PlayStation 4 titles. Add into that all the current PlayStation 5 titles, such as some of them are cross-gen, but The Last of Us 2, Assassin's Creed, Valhalla, Hitman 3, all these games that are coming out cross-gen with the PlayStation 5 in mind. By the time I get a PlayStation 5, they will probably have come down in price by quite a bit as well. Resident Evil Village will be another one as well. I'm avoiding getting these new games on the PlayStation 4 because I want to experience what I didn't experience changing from 3 to 4, especially with The Last of Us. So that's something I'm looking forward to. But for now, Control is something I'm going to be running through. I did download a game called Shing, which is a 2-player. It's a nice little 2D, well 2.5D, Streets of Rage-esque, the way you control your character and move up and down the screen. Side-scrolling beat 'em up. It's raunchy with the language in a way, quite adult in the language, but adult, childish adult humour. Fantastic graphical style, play as well. Me and Josh had a good one on it yesterday. So I've got that downloaded to play as well with Josh. I'm really enjoying that. But Control's probably going to get some time from me over the next couple of weeks. What isn't going to get any time over the next couple of weeks is Wales Comic Con. The reason for that has been postponed again. It was supposed to be April 2020, but that's when the lockdown hit quite badly. Then it was going to be in roughly August 2020. That was postponed as well. Then it was just going to go with the December date that they would have had for the December version of the con anyway. They would do it twice a year, April and December. And then the December date was kiboshed as well, so it was moved to April 2021. And that again has been delayed. So it's unknown when it's going to take place. It's also unknown how it's going to take place with regards to the layout, because it sells out every year. It's a fantastic con, but if social distancing is in place, they're not going to be able to have everyone who bought a ticket in attendance. There's just no room. So that's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting how the photo shoots are done and how the guests are laid out and various other things as well. That's going to be quite interesting. I imagine there'll be some strict, maybe not social distancing as such, but there'll definitely be strict hygiene restrictions, I think, in place, with making sure that you're sanitised and various other things when you go in, which I'm all for. An interesting / troubling thing this time out with the postponement though is that the guest list has been completely wiped clean. When it was postponed all those other times I mentioned, the guest list roughly remained the same. Obviously certain people did drop out, but it roughly stayed the same. This time out the guest list has been wiped clean. So it's a waiting game to see who's going to be there as well. From the ones who were mentioned before though, Bret Hart and James O'Barr were the two I was most excited on seeing. Bret Hart is one of my favourite wrestlers ever. He's one half of my favourite match ever, which was him defending the WWF Championship against the 1-2-3 Kid on Raw in 1994. If you haven't seen it, I'll put a link in the description below. Phenomenal wrestling match. And James O'Barr, who wrote The Crow. People who have known me personally for a long time know how deeply I adore The Crow, the entire Crow mythos, the universe, the expanded novels, the films, the TV shows, pretty much everything about it, other than the Crow City of Angels game, because that game sucked balls. Everything else about The Crow I absolutely adore. So meeting James O'Barr would have been phenomenal. I'm hoping he's still going to be there. But we'll find out in due course when the Wales Comic Con site eventually updates and when we can actually get around to meeting people. Before then though, please know I will be working on a movie review. I'm watching a movie called The Stylist at some point over the next week. So look out for the review on that. It's directed, and I'm going to read this from my notes here to make sure I get it correct. It's directed by a lady called Jill Gevargizian. And it stars Bree Grant, who was Daphne in Heroes, that's how I know her from, she was also in Dexter, and Najara Townsend. It's a psychological horror and it's been released in the UK by Arrow Films. Arrow do an amazing job, they really do. They're cornerstone in distributing independent movies in the cult and horror genres mostly. This film's going to be released on the 1st of March, so the review will be around then. If I read from the synopsis, it basically states, Claire works in a small salon, obsessing over the lives of her glamorous customers to the point of wanting to be them. By removing their scalps and wearing them like wigs is how she accomplishes this. But when one of her regular customers, Olivia, played by Bree Grant, asks Claire to look after her hair for her upcoming wedding, she soon finds herself being drawn deeper into Olivia's circle of friends, risking exposing her murderous secrets. So that's the synopsis. Arrow films, independent films, I've enjoyed a raft of them. They do a fantastic job, as I said, of distributing films that maybe would never have an audience without them. So that I'm looking forward to watching. Look out for the review. I will be posting on Twitter, Facebook and such like when the review is done, so you know when to look out for it on the channel. Before that though, next week I will be continuing to try and hone my mind and my body through the exercising through the DDP Yoga, while also working on some new art. For those who have been long-time viewers of the channel or follow me on other social medias, you'll know I like to create digital art. I can't draw for toffee, but I can take assets and I can manipulate and I can create works of art. Art is now out of the holder, it's subjective, but I can create works of art that I'm quite happy with and I love to share with people. Have I done that? I even wrote a song. Well, I wrote lyrics for a song. They're not great lyrics by any stretch of the imagination, but they are lyrics all the same. And I'm chuffed that I managed to knock something off a to-do list. I last wrote a song when I was 13. I can't remember much of it, but I can remember that I rhymed "missed me" with Linford Christie. And the line for that was, "When I turned up, I knew that you had missed me, because when you saw me, you ran like Linford Christie." That was the caliber of lyrics your boy had when he was 13 years old, and that is why he never wrote another song until now. So yeah, I'm a bit more happy with this one. Depending on the reception I get from a closer circle of friends, I may share it with you, I may not. But there will be an unboxing video next week. I'm unsure whether it's going to be the Green Arrow figure from the McFarlane range or the 4 Dark Knight figures, the smaller ones, that came like a little set. So let me know in the comments below, or the replies on Twitter and Facebook and such like, which one you would prefer to see based on your personal preference. We'll see what the majority want by the time we get to recording the video next week, and that's what we'll unbox. So on the upcoming slate, we have an unboxing video, we have a movie review. Please check out Bandcamp. Wonderful artists on there, including Kate Nix and Bryce Kelly, who I'm always going to push. They are phenomenal artists, they are phenomenal people. But thank you very much for watching. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to spend it here with me. Please like and share this video. Subscribe to the channel. The button's just down there. Ring the bell so you're always notified. And I'll see you guys soon. Stay safe, wear a mask, look after yourself, and look after each other. Goodbye.